Hey everyone, how y'all doing? I'm tired and annoyed. But I wish that I was in the mood to share more often since the last time I have, but I just been trying to take care of myself. And basically I hadn't come on to share because I didn't know anything. Last time I spoke with you guys, I believe it was a couple weeks ago. And essentially, I am waiting for approval to get an MRI or authorization to get an MRI to determine if I have adenomyosis or not. They can be confused as fibroids, blah, blah, blah. So waiting for the call, waiting for the call. I get a phone call last week saying, okay, we're out of network, so we're going to be sending you to Lincoln Imaging. Okay, fine. Wait for the authorization so that you can give them that number, of course, that authorization number, and you can schedule your appointment. Okay. Then I get a call from a third party. This is the one that determines the approval, the authorization for what you're trying to get done, why the MRI or whatever it is that you're trying to get done. So this third party says their doctor looked at my files and looked at everything, and they were offering an MRI with and without contrast. When she called me, I understood her to say with or without contrast. The specialist, the OB, Dr. Joshua, highly recommended here in Chicago, he wanted an MRI with contrast. So I asked the woman, I said, well, what's the obvious that I'm missing here? She says, well, we counter offered. We're waiting for him to tell us if he's okay with what we're offering, according to what our doctor here is recommending or willing to approve. Now, I didn't understand that because, again, I was thinking she said we're offering with or without contrast, and he wants with contrast. I'm like, well, I don't get it. Just now, today, with a phone call that I got from Dr. Joshua's office, I'm understanding now what the woman said. She was not speaking clearly. Dr. Joshua's office has gotten it together for me, okay? Initially, the MRI was denied as of a few days ago. When I got the email saying it was processed, my ass assumed that meant approved or authorized. I had tried to sign into my Blue Cross Blue Shield app and got distracted between signing in and whatnot and reading the message and knowing which section to look up under to follow up on this authorization. I didn't realize it was denied until a few minutes ago. So, I hope I'm making sense. I called Dr. Joshua's office and I says, hey, I'm hearing it's denied. I'm hearing it's authorized. What's going on? She's like, well, we didn't get that it was authorized. We got that it was denied. Well, that's when I signed in and saw it. So I'm like, well, what's next? What's going on? They told me that they offered you guys an alternative. We didn't get an alternative. She says, well, I'm going to call. I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask this. I'm going to ask that. I'm like, okay. Who am I waiting to hear from? Do I need to call back? Do I need to stay on top of this? How much energy am I supposed to spend doing this? Because I'm not getting it. If y'all talking to each other, who am I supposed to chase for information? She calls back. She promised and she did. She called me back and she says that they got it approved. I was like, okay, what's been approved? She said, your MRI with or without contrast. And that's when I said, I'm confused. And then that's when, speaking fast, was not working. So I said, what exactly are you saying? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. There's something obvious here that I'm missing. And when people are used to giving their spiel, saying the same things over and over again, when they are used to the lingo that they're using, I acknowledge it and then I stop them. And I'm saying, I don't understand what the difference is and what this means. So that's when I said with or without. She says, no, with and without. Thank you. So I make people slow down. I don't let people, administrators, nurses, assistants, nurse practitioners, whomever they are, I don't let them rush me through a conversation, be it on the phone or in person, because it's things like that that get missed and lost in translation. So, breaking this down once again, Dr. Joshua asked for an MRI with contrast. This third party was willing to do an MRI with and without contrast, which is actually a better offer. It's a better way to compare the two and look at it versus doing this MRI and you have nothing to compare it to. This is what I'm imagining that this means. So what the third party wants to offer is actually better, which is surprising from what I'm gathering or assuming, unusual, because usually they want to spend less money. So it's all straightened out. I will be having the MRI to determine if I have adenomyosis or not. And then we'll go from there. So I don't know what's next. So I don't know how to answer that question because I'm literally waiting for an appointment to get to the MRI. And I won't know nothing of what's next until we see the results of the MRI. And that's going to take some time because I have to go back for a consultation to get the interpretation of the MRI. So what's next? Hell if I know. I'm believing that I'm waiting to hear from someone about scheduling it. Now, if I don't hear from somebody by the end of day, before the end of day, I will call back and say, hey, am I waiting for someone or am I calling, making an appointment? So, be an advocate for yourself. Stop these people from talking fast and rushing you off the phone. With respect to the other patients that you have on hold, with respect to the other patients that are waiting to see you after me, I do not understand what the hell you just said. I'm not clear on what's being said. Can you offer me an explanation? Can you slow down? Can you have someone else come in and explain? Can you put someone else on the phone? Because you're treating me or you're about to cut on me or you're telling me yes or you're telling me no and I don't understand why. Please be your own advocate. Please don't let these people rush you through this process, and then don't sit there thinking and being apologetic for not understanding. Don't do that. Don't. Women, we take things and we try to be strong and we try to say, okay, we'll just have to deal with it. There's so many things that we've dealt with that we didn't necessarily have to, pain and heavy periods and, because we're trying to be, the strong one or the smart one or the one who doesn't complain, but there are times when you have to stop people and slow them down. And that's one thing I'm not afraid to do because I'm paying a hell of a lot of money for this insurance. I'm paying a hell of a lot in blood, sweat, and tears. I'm putting a lot of effort and energy, and I'm serious about what I want. And be it, my health as far as maintaining it or trying to attain a healthy pregnancy, it doesn't matter. If I don't understand what you're saying, I need you to stop. If I'm asking you I remember a doctor told me I didn't need a complete blood count. I said, the hell I don't. I want that and something. Well, you're not, what did he say? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get some stability to this. He said something. He said it wasn't necessary. You're generally healthy and blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm asking you for a blood test and I want it to be performed. And I want it to be performed immediately. And come to find out I had a slight deficiency. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you nothing about your body. Nothing. Now, I soon fired his butt, left a horrible review across the internet so that people know who they're getting involved with. These health professionals are merely educated guessers, and they are literally educated, but they're just guessing because it's a process of elimination. And knowing your family history will help too, so that they know what to test for, what to look for, and easily eliminate more things and turn their attention to what's probably likely or what's probable. So let me get back to work. Just want to check in with y'all. I hear the toddler coming up the stairs, and he's bringing something with him. Probably a toy that I would prefer stay in the basement, but I'm sure y'all know how that goes with children if you have any, or nieces and nephews. They do what the hell they want to do. And we're just the referees. All right, y'all. Thank you for being patient. And thanks for signing on. I have some new subscribers. Welcome. Thank you. All right, y'all. Peace and gratitude.